Mark chapter 6, before the feeding of the 5,000, Jesus kind of sends the apostles away. Here's what the text says. So they went away by themselves in a boat to a solitary place. But many saw them leaving, recognized them, and ran on foot from the towns and got there ahead of them. When Jesus landed and saw a large crowd, he had compassion on them because they were like sheep without a shepherd. So he began teaching them many things. Whenever I read that word compassion, the first thing that comes to my mind is this is showing now the heart of Jesus. But there's an interesting thing about the text. The text is actually using, anytime it uses the word compassion with Jesus in the New Testament, it's really not using an image of our heart the way you and I would use it. It's actually using an image of our gut, as though there's a guttural sense of what's going on. We've probably all have experienced this to some extent. There are times which our minds can discern something that's going on, of what is taking place. Clearly, we have these emotional feelings toward other people, toward ourselves, toward things that we love. But we've also had this internal sense. We've walked into a room and maybe sensed danger and couldn't figure out why. Our brains couldn't figure it out, but our gut felt it in some way. Here in Mark chapter 6, we get this image now that Jesus is driven by this guttural sense of need, of injustice, of a desire now to make things right. Yes, it defines his heart, no question. It defines his mind as well. Jesus is the totality of what wholeness looks like. His head, his heart, his gut were never in conflict, but ours often are. Man, it's interesting to me as I so quickly lean to my head, I have to learn to bring my heart along, but I also have to learn to bring this instinct. To allow the Holy Spirit to dwell within me, that even when I can't fully explain what I'm sensing, what I'm feeling, what I think that I need to do, that I allow the Spirit now to drive me to an action, to an activity, that there is a compassion that comes almost from the inside of who I actually am, that I can't even fully explain. But as I'm following after Jesus, he has a transforming impact on my life. I can have my mind and the things of God right. I can actually have a feeling that is proper. But if that does not drive action, and it is our gut now that drives the action, the activity of what we actually do, if my actions do not back up my affections and my thoughts about who God is, it throws into question whether or not those are even real or not. Here Jesus illustrates for us, he models for us what a full disciple, a full person of God truly looks like. It's somebody whose minds are attuned to the things of God, whose affections now are aligned with that which God cares about, but then whose gut drives us to a behavior and activity that not only transforms our lives, but also can transform the lives of others. Make sure today that you aren't just in your head or in your heart, in your feelings. Make sure your following of Jesus is also exhibited by the actions and the activities that you engage in. And as your gut begins to drive you under the power of the Holy Spirit, you'll be able to make much of Jesus.